Coach in Love Part 1 is certainly a very interesting episode. I don't necessarily think it needed to be 2 episodes, but at the same time, I don't mind that too much at all. This is the 6th episode of the 3rd season of Cheers, directed by the wonderful James Burrows, and Coach meets a woman called Irene Blanchard, played by Bette Ford, and he realises immediately that he wants to marry her. I will say things move ridiculously quickly, but Coach is such a sweet character that I just want to see him happy. And if he and Irene hit it off, then so be it. Contrastingly, Sam meets Irene's daughter, Sue, played by Regan, and she rejects Sam's advances, and Sam is not used to this, and the way he responds is pretty entertaining. So part of the episode is about Coach's new feelings for Irene and what he's going to do with them. However, he's not in the episode too much, which is why it does work as a two-parter, because we don't actually get that much development with that part of the narrative until something that happens at the end, which I'll discuss with a spoiler warning in a moment. So they could have condensed Coach's story into 1 episode, but we get so much comedy and delightfulness in the other aspects of this episode that's why I don't actually mind it being a 2-parter. The bulk of the rest of the episode comprises a few little jokes here and there. There's quite a bit between Norm and Cliff that I rather liked, and Cliff and his Florida stories, and Norm generally just being awesome. And we also have Diane giving Sam back some items of his that he left at her house, and also Diane asking Sam for a few things of hers that she left at his once upon a time, and this is where a lot of the comedy comes in. So I guess I'll say spoilers from now, as I discuss very briefly, well, maybe in a little bit of detail, the items revolving around Sam and Diane, and then ultimately what happens at the end of the episode, and why it is a bit of a cliffhanger, and does make me very desperate to go on to the next episode. I can't remember exactly what happens in the next episode. I've seen Cheers all before, but I am rewatching it and I don't fully remember the next episode, so I am excited. So spoilers from now. Honestly, Brian the Lion, I absolutely love it. The fact that Carla was cleaning the bar with this rag, but you don't notice it. It's not obvious that that's what she's doing until she throws it at Sam. And Diane realises her beloved puppet that she left with Sam has been used as a bar rag, and this poor lion is not in any fit state. That was funny. And then we get the sweatshirt, and the bit where Sam pulls out this teeny tiny sweater, it's just absolutely adorable. And Diane's reactions to everything, they were really great. Shelley Long, as always, gave a wonderful performance, and I liked the fact that she didn't completely overreact. She was devastated, but I think back in the day, had they been in a relationship still, it would have sparked arguments and fighting, and it wasn't. It was dramatic, but it wasn't over the top. It wasn't dragging the mood down. It remained funny, and I like that. With Coach, and Coach is part of the story, things were certainly very emotional. Coach decides to propose to Irene. As I said, things move really quickly in this episode. And she accepts and she's delighted and it's really great and everyone's happy, and then Irene gets the phone call from her daughter and she's won $2 million on the lottery. And I will say her behaviour then is a bit suspicious. What annoyed me most is that the phone remained off the hook. She dropped the phone and then for the rest of this scene nobody thought to pick the phone up. But that aside, she's obviously very excited, very elated, very, I think as she said, woozy. And everybody in the bar, the regular patrons, Cliff, Norm, Diane's there, Carla and Sam, of course. Coach has gone off to go to Melville's, and we realise that Irene seems to have forgotten in the last 2 minutes that she agreed to marry Coach. And obviously Coach is going to be heartbroken, and it's unclear what's going to happen. And I love that. I love that it ends on such a dramatic note. I have to say this is one of the funniest episodes in a while. I say that because the last few episodes, the last couple of episodes have been okay, but we have had quite a few heavy episodes recently, mostly focusing on Sam and Diane. But this one was basically funny all of the way through until it became a little bit dramatic. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. Really brilliant episode. I loved just love Brian the Lion. Just Diane's face when she saw what Sam was holding, and the panic in Sam's eyes when he realised that Carla was cleaning the bar with that very rag, and everything just worked so beautifully. And definitely a really great episode. Very keen to proceed with the next episode. As I said, I can't fully remember what happens, but I'm expecting greatness, and again, it doesn't necessarily need to have been a two-parter, but I'm glad it was. Coach in Love is a brilliant episode, and one I'm sure I'll always enjoy.